Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
I am that dude, Bodkins.
Yeah, DP lost like, thief. Yeah.
Right, where he's wondering he's like, I
Patty to patty.
He won style, like no weight classes.
Yeah, basically, like I said, there's been a couple guys that are like,
It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy.
That's just not my mentality, bro.
Yeah. Leave the ladder down. That's my always like, hey, somebody helped you out. Why not help somebody else out? Return.
Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkins Show.
Or bringing Craig Counsell down the interstate in a move unexpected. I had people.
I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the Bodkins Show. I know what you're thinking, like, Nick, what are you doing? It's 8 o'clock a.m. on the Central Time Zone. So for a little while, I've been thinking about, with football season opening up, kind of doing like a pregame but morning show. And why not Sunday morning? We like to call this the Sunday morning weekend dump show, where we just dump everything that has happened in our lives, sports, pop culture, whatever it is. We're going to dump it out all tonight, whether it's grievances, whether it's just things on our mind. We're going to dump it out today, and then we start the new week fresh. Obviously, when football season starts, if you got fantasy questions, we'll look at the games as well. So we'll also be a little bit of pregame show, just a little mixed bag, just for fun. I love doing this stuff. It's been a while since I've actually been on my own channel, like just doing this with you guys and just the Bodkins Show. So it's been about 2 or 3 weeks. The Sunday night show will still be around. I don't know how, it's just with trying to book guests and things like that gets a little difficult at times. So, but I'm cooking up something. I got a big guest coming up, hopefully for you next Sunday night. Once we lock that in for sure, I'll be putting that out, but I'm excited for it. Yeah, we're cooking. So anyway, let's get into it, man. Last night, UFC 205 was incredible. Man, the card from top to bottom, or the main card for sure, I thought was great. DDP chokes out Izzy in the fourth round. That fight was close. The first 3 rounds, first round was real close. Second round, I thought DDP had it. Third round was close. You could have favored it either way. But didn't even need to go to the scorecards. DDP wins, and still, it kind of seems like it shouldn't be Sean Strickland and him next. But interesting call out by him and Poton. He said he would go up to 205 to fight Alex Pereira, and then we'll go out to Alex said he would even drop down, but that'll be interesting. A lot of history, both men with Izzy. So I don't want to talk too much UFC because we'll talk. Me and Whit will break more of that down tomorrow night. But that was kind of the big storyline coming out of last night, yesterday. Folks, I can't do this show alone. And when I was looking for a co-host, I can't help but always ask my guy. He's been with me pretty much almost since the beginning, in different shades and forms. Give it up for our own Mr. Yankee fan, Johnny Cruz.
What is going on, dude? Props on the very nice intro. I'm excited about the new show, man. Excited to do this again on your platform here, where we just shoot the shit about everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it, and it's a lot of stuff to talk about, man.
It is, Johnny. And the first thing, obviously, I want to talk to you about is Mr. Aaron Judge. Aaron hits home run number 300 this past week, the fastest of any player in the history of baseball. That's what's insane. I think Griffey hit 400 real fast and was the fastest at that. So he's on pace, I guess, to even pass Griffey. And if you think about it, at 300 season, the way he's going, if he could hit 400 in 2 years, you know what I mean? He's already at 300. The season still got a month and a half left. and then in 2 years' time, he could probably hit 400. And you're looking at, if he keeps this pace, which is hard to do, in 4 years, hitting that magic 500 number.
Yeah, it's crazy to think, man. Like you mentioned, the fastest player to 300, I believe it was either Griffey or it might have even been Mark McGuire, the fastest to 400, like you mentioned. But
I think it was Griffey. I remember Griffey getting the fastest to 400 because at that point in time, he hadn't quite had the injuries yet, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's going to break."
Oh,
Hank
yeah.
Aaron.
I mean, he was
going to break Hank Aaron's record.
Yeah, somebody referenced Griffey when we were talking about Mike Trout and stuff like that, and it
was John Grisham. Grisham, mentioned that on Monday.
Yeah. So Griff, I mean, if it wasn't for the injuries, and that's one thing that you worry about with Aaron Judge is he's had some injuries, prior, and he's a big dude playing in the outfield. I mean, they got him playing center right now, but yeah, his 955th game, 3,431st at bat, which I think was like 1,400 more. Less at bats than like Babe Ruth when he got there. So it's crazy the pace that he's on. And then, he hit it in a 10-2 win against Chicago after they intentionally walked Juan Soto in front of him. So it was almost like, seriously, you gotta walk the guy to get to me. And then he doesn't usually swing at a 3-0 pitch, and it was an inside pitch. But he swung on that 3-0 pitch, and he just ripped it for a bullet home run for his 300th. He's since hit 301 and stuff. But no, I'm excited for him. I mean, if he's going to continue to average 45 to 50, then man, he can get close to 400 or 500 in a couple years. And then depending on health, I mean, I'm sure at some point, like I was saying, he's got a long contract. I envision him once they get past the Giancarlo Stanton ridiculous contract, he'll probably be more of the DH. So if he's just focused on hitting, if he can stay healthy, I don't see why he can't get close to that 700 mark, bro. It's gonna be wild, but at least somewhere up by 60, 600. Yeah, he's averaging. He's averaging.
Yeah, he's averaging. I mean, 45, 50 home runs a year. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he's already on pace, or he was on pace. You would know more being the Yankee fan to break his record from last year, right? To hit the 62 or 61 home runs again.
Yeah, he is 62 a couple years ago. He's on pace. I had it up here earlier to break that to I want to say get to 62 or 63, hit that with the pace that he's on right now. But I mean, it's the overall hitting that he's doing, which is insane for being such a big dude. That's a home run hitter. I mean, he's battling for the Triple Crown. If it wasn't for Bobby Witt going insane with his average, Bobby Witt, I believe it's up in the 340s, and Judge is 330 something. So man, he's fun to watch. He's a great overall all-around hitter, which is good to see, because at first, when he first came up, you were worried about all the strikeouts and stuff. So you're thinking, he's gonna hit a lot of home runs, but he's gonna bat 200 like a Chris Davis or somebody like that. But he's shown that he's gonna be a complete hitter. He hits for average, and having somebody like Juan Soto in front of him, I'm sure doesn't hurt, even though he doesn't have much protection behind him. But man, he's having a phenomenal season, and it's great to see. I try to tell Yankee fans, because Yankee fans unfortunately have the mindset of championship or bust, which I get it. That should be your mindset. You want to win, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy the ride while it's happening. And that's something that I guess as I've gotten older, I've realized that more. And I'm, I was a Yankee fan before the whole 90s run with Jeter and stuff like that. My favorite player is Don Mattingly. So, and they sucked in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? So I grew up with them being horrible, you know what I'm saying, and being a bad team, but having that superstar player, just never being able to see him get to that promised land until the 90s or whatever, when they started getting good or whatever. So I guess I could appreciate it a little bit more. But I don't know, as I've gotten older, like I said, of course I want them to win, but I don't live or die by each game. It's a long season, and I just try to enjoy enjoy what's happening in front of us. So I appreciate what Judge is doing.
Yeah, let me ask you this: is Judge or Soto MVP? Because I was probably more Soto. It should be MVP the first 2.5 months of the season. Now I'm probably I would probably vote for Aaron Judge. Who you're the Yankee fan, and it's probably between them two as far as AL MVP. Who are you voting for?
I mean, it's hard to go against Judge with the numbers that he's putting up and what he's doing right now. And this is, with him having an awful April because he started off really slow. So, I mean, imagine if he actually hit the ground running. But I don't think you could take it away from Aaron Judge because of the ridiculous numbers that he's putting up. So I think it's pretty safe to say if he stays on this pace and if, God willing, he somehow catches Bobby Witt and wins a Triple Crown, I think there's no doubt.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. You win a Triple Crown. Yeah, you win a Triple Crown. Yeah, it's over.
You cannot deny the impact that Juan Soto has had, not only on Judge, but on this entire team. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you can see, and he's having a great year himself. As far as the numbers and stuff like that, he plays every day. So it's Aaron Judge because his numbers are almost like video game type numbers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But Juan Soto is having a phenomenal season as well. But yeah, I don't see unless Judge just like completely falls off a cliff. I don't see him losing that award. But I'm loving watching. So you know what I'm saying? Like I'm hoping. I know another thing Yankee fans are scared as shit about is losing Juan Soto after 1 year. But it's like enjoy the 1 year and you deal with that at the end of the season. See what happens.
If Papa Steinbrenner was still alive, if George was still alive, like I would think Yankee fans probably wouldn't have to worry about anything because he would open up the checkbook and give Juan Soto whatever he wanted. You know what I mean? Because he would know that Judge and Soto are the two guys that are going to lead you to success for the next, umpteen years, 5-6 years plus. Like, Soto's still young. Like he's not.
Yeah, dude. Oh God, dude, he's 25, bro.
Yeah,
like, he's a generational talent. Like he's
still got 5-6, maybe 7 years of like. If he's with health, a really good place. Yeah.
At least, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if he's really he's already put up generational numbers in his, first 6 seasons, which is insane, 7 almost with, because he came up a little, after he turned 18 or whatever, or right as he turned 19. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he stays healthy, he's going to put up ridiculous numbers, but it's just like his approach, like what he does for the whole lineup. I mean, you can see how this team is basically them two and a bunch of guys that you hope come through sometimes. That's why even though the Yankees have the best record in the American League, if not one of the best records in the American League, they still have some really bad losses, like losing to the Tigers, like losing to the White Sox. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit just happens because there's still flaws in the team, but those two have just been so solid. That I'm with you as far as the George Steinbrenner thing. The only problem is George Steinbrenner didn't have somebody in Queens that had the same size wallet or bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like Steve Cohen, the Mets owner, is like beyond rich. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Beyond wealthy. So if he decides that he's going to make sure he gets Juan Soto, and if Juan Soto is going to go strictly to the highest bidder, then that's the worry there. But I think the Yankees would make a comparable offer and try to keep him. You know what I'm saying? They obviously see his value. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. And again, like you mentioned, he's 25, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, the Yankees are currently 73-51. They have the best, really tied for the most wins in baseball, and they have one more loss than the Phillies. Now the Baltimore's right there, right behind them at 72 wins. Cleveland 72 wins.
Right. But if you looked at social media and Yankee fans, you would think that we were like in 4th place and the world is. You're saying we
not being a White Sox fan or a Cubs fan, right? You know what I mean?
Right. And that's why I try to say, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I understand that for the majority of Yankee fans' lives, it's always been championship or bust, and that's what George Steinbrenner instilled in us as fans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy what's happening.
Yeah, enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride.
Right, man. You have to, man. That's what all things, not just, you know what I'm saying, the Yankees or just sports or whatever. That's for life. You know what I'm saying? You want to enjoy that journey. Yeah. Saying while you're on your way. So I'm having a fun year, man.
Let me ask you before we kind of wrap up the Yankee talk here. Is this the best duo like, I mean, the Yankees are known for duos, right? I mean, I know you weren't obviously alive with Ruth and Gehrig, you know, but like Mantle and Maris, you know, and then now you got I think they wanted, obviously it's supposed to be Giancarlo and Judge be this great duo, and Stanton has not delivered, but now you have Soto and Judge. Is this the best duo you think, and like could be in Yankee history? Like, let's just say now you can't do it off of 1 year because you know what I mean, that 1 year. But if Soto signs a contract for the length of Judge's, like they could end up being the best duo in history.
Yeah, I think talent wise, you would have to say that it's definitely up there. Like you said, you can't base it off of just 1 year. So hopefully the Yankees are able to re-sign Juan Soto, that you can see and Judge can stay healthy for the majority of what he's got left. You'll say he is going to be 32, so he's a little older than Juan Soto. But as far as like pure talent, like like you mentioned, I wasn't around for Ruth and Gehrig, and I wasn't even around for Mantua and Roger Maris or anybody like that. I mean, the best I have as far as Yankee is like, Don Mattingly and Paul O'Neill type shit, but they were nowhere near this type of talent with these two. And I honestly, like, I would have to look at like you know what I'm saying? I mean, for the Yankees, I think they're definitely talented, but I'm trying to look at all of baseball. Is there a 1-2 punch that's ever been put together like this?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see who was like lined up with Ken Griffey, I guess A-Rod. For those few years they were together, right?
They never got the team. First Judge and Soto would have to win a.
I was just saying, they need to win too. You know what I'm saying? You can't not win a championship and even be talked about with those other duos.
Yeah, they got to win in multiple, I guess you could say. You know what I mean?
I mean, at this point, I'm sure Judge just wants one. You know what I'm saying? Most Yankee fans would be happy with just one right now, but they definitely gotta put some trophies in the trophy case in order to like really be in the discussion. But as far as like pure talent, like I can't remember a 1-2 punch like this. Like I said, maybe Ken Griffey and A-Rod. I don't remember who Pujols might have been with that you can.
Nobody. Manny Ramirez and David Ortiz. You know what I mean? Like, recent memory,
right. And I would still give. I mean, and Manny's one of my favorite hitters of all time. Like, he was just an incredible. He was a Yankee killer too. So was David Ortiz, actually. But I think as far as like pure talent, all around talent, I think these two are better than those two.
Yeah. I mean, neither one of those guys could play the field. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Facts. Yeah. So, that's
like, Manny had to play left field because David really couldn't play. Like, he played. You know what I mean? Like, they had to. They neither one of them could play the field like Judge. Or specifically Soto, who's a Gold Glove caliber type.
No, that's a I'm saying that's something that Yankee fans are discussing as far as again where they would stack them up. But like I said, until you win a championship or whatever, like I said, hopefully they can re-sign Soto, and hopefully this is a discussion that Yankee fans and people can have for several years down the road. It'll definitely be fun as a Yankee fan to see that, but. That's why I'm trying to just enjoy this season because I don't know what's going to happen next season. But I've never seen anything like this with two guys like this back to back.
Yeah. It's like how good talented they are. Now there's been some Jim Thome and Albert Bell, like
that was a good one. But even them, like I'm saying, it would be the same thing as far as the defensive side.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, Judge is a Gold Glove caliber right fielder, and he's playing center. You know what I'm saying? At 6'8", it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I mean, you say he puts up video game numbers like he's like a video game character. You know what I mean? Like who's? Like I mean, like that's just like somebody in the lab, like. You know what? I'm gonna make my baseball player 6'8", runs like a gazelle, plays center fucking field. Also, mashes 99 home, on the batting, and then about 75 contact, and it's just like he's a legit like video game character who.
You ain't lying about that. I mean, he actually looks like the character you would make on 2K basketball as to play your point. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make a 6'8", 6'9" point guard. That's a big thing. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. So but like I said, that's the closest thing I could think of because Griffey was the best as a kid growing up. It's like he was the best baseball player I saw. Ken Griffey.
Me too, right? The sweetest
bro.
swing. We've
God,
talked about that
yes.
too.
And I was
Yeah,
a lefty batter too, so I swore. I
Yeah.
always imitated that swing, man. It was
Yeah.
crazy. They were good to watch.
I think the left-handed swing, to me, left-hander swings anyway look just more pure and natural than a right-hander swing. It's something about lefties. Fucking maybe because we don't see it very often.
Maybe,
but just something
I
about
also
lefties. Like even Albert Pujols left-handed. You know what I mean? Like got.
Well, Albert Pujols was right-handed, but
I
feel you on that. But I mean, and even like the one of them being lefty, one of them being righty, I even like enjoy that visual too. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to both of them being left-handed or both of them being right-handed. You know what I'm saying? So you get one on each side of the plate. That's just like it's a killer. Their on base is just ridiculous. I would have to say Griffey and A-Rod, and it's just like what could have been had Seattle been able to like keep A-Rod in Seattle. Like that team was insane. You had Edgar Martinez and everybody else there too.
And at one point, remember they had Randy Johnson, a young King Griffey, a young A-Rod, man. And they just couldn't.
They had Jay Buhner, Edgar Martinez, Tino Martinez. I mean, I remember that team well. They knocked out the one year that Don Mattingly made the playoffs in '95. You know what I'm saying? They knocked us off in the first ever wild card best of 5 series with that walk-off hit by Edgar Martinez and stuff. Yeah. So that Seattle team was stacked.
Brizzo, Craig, I mean, we both know Brizzo is no judge or Soto, like, especially right now. Gosh, Chris Bryant is, I don't know what happened to that kid, man. He was so good, and now.
Yeah.
I read a stat on Chris Bryant. So his WAR with the Cubs, like pre 29, was like 31.5 or something, like a high ass WAR. And since then, his WAR is like negative 1.5 or like 1.5. It's
right. That's insane, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, because when he came out, like there was so much debate when they sent him down for the, to get the extra year of eligibility.
Yeah.
It was like, dude, he's the best. You know what I'm saying? You got to bring him up or whatever to see. Yeah. To see the drop is insane. The other thing I can think of is, I guess, Shohei and Trout. Had Trout been able to stay healthy, like that would have been insane.
That could have been. What could have been.
What could have been there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know Trout's only 31 or something like that. So, like, I'm praying that he somehow can keep his career going or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? That would have been insane to see had he been able to stay healthy and they would have kept Shohei or whatever. But that goes to show you can have 2 great players, and in baseball that don't mean shit if the rest of the team is garbage. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
that's true. Speaking of great players, let's get into some. The WNBA is back. We've both been kind of following it. Obviously, you followed it more long-wise than I have. Obviously, I'm jumping in this year with my girl Caitlin Clark, and Johnny. I said this before when everybody was throwing up fits about her not making the Olympic team. I said I don't think she should play in the Olympic team due to the fact she needs to get some rest. And her first game out, she shines with 29. The Fever get the win. They're still 3 games below 500. They beat the Mercury, and then they got a game tonight. But, man, I thought it was good for some of these girls, especially, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, these women who have, been playing for almost a year. Like, get some break. Take this, like, month off, get some rest. And get back into it and be healthy. And it looks like she is now. Your thoughts on the expectations of kind of, I guess, the second half of this WNBA season?
Yeah, I mean, I expect her to continue to only get better. You know what I'm saying? I understood slightly what the Olympic team was thinking when they put their squad together, whatever. And I knew, and I'm glad that it finally came out that there was more than just the whole, she's a college, whatever. There was more politics to that shit than they wanted to admit when it happened. Because, you know what I'm saying, I think, was she a top 12 player at that time? No, but you could see the talent was there and that she was going to only get better. But I think in the long run for her, for the Fever team, it was the best thing that could happen because she did get her rest, get her legs under her. Like you mentioned, to come out 29 and 10, and throw in 5 rebounds, You know what I'm saying? People are always going to harp on her turnovers, but when you have the ball in your hands that much and you're a playmaker the way she is, because she tries to make passes that other people don't even see. You know what I'm saying? So that's why she gets the turnover she does, but she's so much fun to watch, man. And like, I know why there's all the hate that she gets. I don't understand it, but she's fun to watch. You know, she's balling out. You know, she's put her team in solid in the number 7 seed again, one game ahead or half game ahead of Chicago, who just won yesterday. You mentioned they played today. I don't know how much higher. I think they can catch the Mercury if they keep on going. But they also are playing against a few teams that also have had some rest. So you got like, you know, saying like I know they got Minnesota coming up. You know, Nafisa College coming back.
Yeah.
They play Dallas and Enrique's been rested, so you know she's gonna come out firing, and Sably is coming back healthy for Dallas as well. So I mean they've got some. They're gonna have to play well to win these games, but I expect the Fever to make the playoffs, and they're gonna put a scare in one of those top teams, if not beat one of them outright. But I don't know. I think it's, you know, the Liberty and of course the Aces, the 2-time defending champs. You know, they battled yesterday and the Liberty pretty much handled them, to be quite honest. They've been the best team all year, and they're
23-4, and you know what I mean. So they've been running. They are the best team, and then you got UConn, right? Or UConn, Connecticut, 19-6, right behind. You know, 3 games back, but it's going to be interesting. I do think, you know, some of those. It'll be interesting how to see the Olympics, how the Olympians like handle. You know, because they didn't get the break, right? So they played through. Right. Well, compared to some of these younger teams like the Chicago, you know, that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. You know, if they can kind of get it up. I mean, both of them are in the playoffs right now, but I think everybody's kind of watching Reese and Clark, obviously, for the Rookie of the Year. And I also think it's going to die down a little bit because football is going to get kicked off, so the media won't be on Caitlin either as much in the next, you know, month and a half, and so maybe she can just go out and ball out and kind of get her team into that top 5-6.
Yeah, I think 6 is definitely something that they can possibly catch if they continue to keep playing the way they're doing. 5 is possible, you know what I'm saying, but like they're gonna have to go on a hell of a streak to get to 5.
Yeah, Las Vegas at 16-9 at 5. Like
some of the Olympians that did come back are complaining already. You know what I'm saying? Like the Mercury were complaining a little bit about, you know what I'm saying, when they just lost to the Fever, that they, you know, them having to play back, and then they wound up having to play a back-to-back. Well, that's what the schedule is. Nobody had pity on Caitlin Clark. When the beginning of the season, she had the most games in the first like 20 days or whatever ever. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was saying, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? They were just saying, oh, well, she has to get used to it. That's just the league, blah, blah, blah. So now you got to deal with the fact. The league now. Right. Yeah. You got to deal with the fact that you done gave her a month off. Yeah. You gave her ammunition by keeping her off the USA team and all the other shit that they were talking about her. So she's on a mission to, like, you know what I'm saying, prove that she is as good as she is. And I'm glad you mentioned it. And for the people, could we stop with the Rookie of the Year shit? Like, I like Angel Reese. I think she's got some good traits. She's a phenomenal rebounder, bro. She plays angles perfectly. She's a hustle player. Her layup game and her under the basket game is horrific. Like, she still has a lot of work to go to get better as a player. She's a good player, though. She's having a great season, that double streak, whatever. There's a difference between a really good rookie and a generational type talent. Yeah. Caitlin Clark is a generational type talent. You know, she started off slow, but she has been killing it. She leads the WNBA in assists, not rookies, the league in assists. She's one of the top scorers in the league. Again, she just dropped 29 and 10. She's on a different caliber. So the whole rookie, that's a media thing, just trying to draw interest in the race. There's no race. You know what I'm saying? If she gets robbed of Rookie of the Year, then it's a robbery. because she is the best rookie
It's
there.
also it's also the media. You mentioned race. It's also the media race.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I don't
yes.
care what you can't tell me any different.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? Like the national media will always try to divide, and you know what I mean. You got to pick a fucking side,
right. Which is a fucking shame. Like you're saying, like I you know what I'm saying. Why can't you just enjoy the fact that we got a nice young rookie class of basketball players? You know what I'm saying? That it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I watch some YouTube stuff, some content creators there on the WNBA stuff, and it's some of them are black guys, and it's like they get hate because they're black guys that are appreciating a white girl that's a baller. And it's like stop. She a hooper. That's what matters. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you black, white, orange, purple, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I was dying to trust. Like Sabrina Ionescu is one of my favorite players. I'm a New York Liberty fan. You know what I'm saying? I like Angel Reese. Kennedy Carter. Cheryl Swoop's one of the greatest, even though she's crazy with her takes now. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But Candace Parker is on my Mount Rushmore of women's basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like they're all hoopers. Like it does. You know what I'm saying? But of course, again, like you mentioned, the media is going to make it a race thing or whatever. And unfortunately, negativity draws more attention than positivity. So that's a great way to just get clicks and get people to check you out when you talk negative about it. But she's on talent alone and her ability. She's the rookie of the year. It's not even close. Like I said, she still has to get better at some things, but her ability compared and what she can do and what she's doing for her team compared to what Angel Reese, it's not even close. Like they need to stop that. You're saying Angel Reese, like I said, I like what she brings to the game, and she's gonna develop and get better. But like she's on the scene because of the whole waving her hand in her face when they beat Iowa. And if you look at that game, she was the fourth leading scorer on that team. It's not like she led LSU against Iowa. And for all the hate, sorry about the tangent, but for all the hate that
you're saying, dumping it out, Johnny. That's what we're doing.
For all the hate that you're saying that Caitlin is getting, it's disappointing because I'm a Taurasi fan, I'm a Breanna Stewart fan or whatever. And if you look at 2 years ago when they were going up against LSU, Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird with their show, they're just showing all kinds of love to Caitlin Clark, even talking about, that's basically, that would be our child right there. You know what I'm saying? She's got your passing ability with my shooting ability. And then
now
a year later, right, not even a year later, because she's getting so much hype and love, then you trying to shit on her and say, oh, well, I'll take Paige Beckers, which of course is a fellow UConn player, over her. You know what I'm saying? And then again, for them all saying, oh, well, she needs to win a chip. You know what I'm saying? Because we even had the debate about her being the greatest ever. I couldn't put her as the greatest ever. She's one of the greatest that I've ever seen play. Yeah. Because she couldn't win. But at the same time, she took an Iowa team to back-to-back championship games. I will repeat that. She took an Iowa team. Well, for the people out there, she took the Iowa Lady Hawkeyes to back-to-back championship games. She didn't go to UConn, the powerhouse, and get chips with them,
or South Carolina,
or Tennessee, or Notre Dame. She didn't do that. She wanted to go to Iowa. She wanted to win there. She wanted to make a name for them, and she did exactly that. So you can't say, oh, well, she never won a championship. Well, I mean, she took her team as far as you could possibly go. She went up against a powerhouse LSU team that was stacked, defeating the unbeaten South Carolina team on the way there, and then lost to that same South Carolina, you know what I'm saying, when they were undefeated again. That's how dominant South Carolina was in the championship game. So it's not like she lost. I mean, she did everything she possibly could.
It's like Larry Bird. It's like Larry Bird. You know what I mean? Like Larry Bird led the Indiana State. We don't. You know what I mean?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, when's the last time you thought of Iowa women's basketball and the Final Four? Never.
Exactly.
Because that's the first time, and it's because of her. So you got to give her credit for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she could have easily gone to Notre Dame, to Connecticut or whatever, and won 3 or 4 titles. Like, imagine her on one of those Connecticut teams. Come on.
Her and Paige Beckers together.
Right, yeah. Like, that's just, you know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But, and I like Paige Beckers too. I'm looking forward to seeing her and Juju. You know, Juju's going to be ridiculous, bro, if she keeps getting better, because she's got the size and everything. She's 6'2", so she's got everything for her. But, yeah, it's just, let's not, you know what I'm saying? Let's understand what we're seeing here. She's not just, you know what I'm saying, a white girl, you know what I'm saying, a pretty white girl, what you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's a hooper. She's a baller.
She can ball
She's
out.
got the mindset too. Like she's all about trying to be great. She's respectful. She gives praise to the players before her. It's not like she's, you know what I'm saying, on Instagram or whatever, not to take away from them. Do you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the world that we live in now. But she always says the right thing in front of the camera. She don't shit talk on nobody. You know what I'm saying? She don't hate on nobody.
She never gets in. They try to pull her into the controversy.
They try to bait her. They try to bait her into stuff, and she's just trying to play ball.
Yeah.
And again, don't hate on her because she's the one that got the $28 million Nike deal, and you didn't. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I mentioned, for the Olympics or whatever, it's like, you know, the rising tide raises all boats. So instead of, you know, embracing her and going with it so that everybody can get paid, you know what I'm saying, there's this diversity. But hopefully we get past that. You mentioned NFL starting right now, so I doubt the WNBA is going to get as much coverage as they have been getting. But if she keeps ball, she will. Yeah. And I'm sure Angel Reese will, depending on what this guy do, because, you know what I'm saying, that they're playing well. That trade, you know what I'm saying, that they made was weird. You know what I'm saying, getting rid of Mabry like that. She was one of their best shooters, but they got to figure out what's going on with Kennedy Carter, because there might be some drama with her and Angel Reese, but she's a phenomenal player, Kennedy Carter. She's got some issues or whatever, but as far as on the court, she's a hell of a player. But so they'll still get
I heard that. What's going on with Reese and Carter?
The top 25, the ESPN, of course, ranked the top 25 WNBA players, and it had Caitlin Clark at 15, which she should be higher, but that's another story. Then it had Angel Reese at 19, which there's no way she's a top 20 player in the whole league. Not at all. And then Kennedy Carter's at 24. Kennedy Carter is a better player. You know what I'm saying? Angel Reese is just getting all the attention because of the followers she has and her shit with Caitlin Clark or whatever. But Kennedy Carter is a bucket. You know what I'm saying? And she plays less minutes or whatever, and still averages more or whatever. So she put out like some, you know, everything's on social media and stuff like that. So she put out some shit, like basically questioning the list or whatever. They both unfollowed each other on Instagram or something. So you know how this generation does or whatever. So there might be some, hopefully they, for the Sky's sake, I hope they work it out or whatever, because they obviously need her, because, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to be interesting to see what happens down the stretch here. But again, Caitlin Clark, she deserves all the praise that she's getting because she is that good.
Real quick, you mentioned the games played by Caitlin. You got they played 11 games in May, 11 games in June, 6 in July, 6 in August, 8 in September. So like their schedule was definitely front loaded, obviously, to kind of capitalize on that hype, right? From her coming into the league, and they were putting her on TV all the time. So now it seems you know what I mean.
And again, there was no sympathy for her. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody was. You're saying, so sorry that you have to play the schedule you have to play now after the break. You know what I'm saying? But they dealt what they had to deal with. They went 1-8 in their first 9, and now they're 10-7 or 11-7 since then. So and like I said, you gave her some rest. You gave her some motivation by keeping her off the Olympic team. She's got that mentality that she wants to. She's a hoop. She wants to like destroy her opponent. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she does in this second half of the WNBA season. It should be a lot of fun going down the stretch here, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, I hope she gets the proper respect, you know what I'm saying, and flowers and shit that she's due. Like I said, I know they're trying to keep Angel Reese to this whole rookie of the year talk. There is no debate, but we'll see what happens, and hopefully she can continue to prove that, because she's breaking WNBA records, not just rookie records. She's breaking WNBA all-time records and stuff like that. So if you enjoy basketball, watch her play, man. Watch the Indiana Fever play.
Watch the whole league. The whole league is fun.
Yeah, watch the whole league. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm a Liberty fan. They're so much fun. Sabrina is ridiculous with her shooting. You know what I'm saying? And Breanna Stewart is the reigning MVP for a reason. You know what I'm saying? They're stacked on that team. And I think the experience of last year, losing to the Aces, has kind of like helped them out, you know what I'm saying? Because they were They were all put together last year, so I think a year under their belt, they seem to be on a mission. They remind me of the 2012 San Antonio Spurs when they lost to LeBron and the Heat or whatever, and then they just came out determined the next year to get back there and win it. And it looks like that's how the Liberty are going at it. So, but there's a lot of good players, a lot of good basketball players in the WNBA, man. If you like basketball, check them out, man.
For sure. Let's get into just a little bit of NFL news. The big trade this week was Matthew Judon from getting traded from the Patriots to the Falcons are adding some pieces. I believe they just added Justin Simmons. Now Judon, like they're trying to build a squad there. You know, we already did our AFC South, but I don't even remember what I picked them at. But like they might. You know what I mean? They're putting the pieces there to compete in that division and maybe possibly win it. But the Patriots, are they just going to be a top 5 pick again, right? Like, I mean, they're giving away Judon, who is their best player on the roster for a 3rd-round pick. And I know he's getting older. I think he's like 32, and he is coming off an injury, but he's still the best player on their roster.
He was the best player on their roster. And as a Dolphin fan, I am happy to see him go. Because he has been an issue since he got to New England. But yeah, I mean, unless May completely is that dude and like does some ridiculous stuff, I think they are a top 5, you know what I'm saying, picking team. Again, they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league. They're one of the youngest teams, and then again, you trade away your best defensive player, your best player for a 3rd-round pick. I like what Atlanta's doing as far as putting all this talent together on the defensive side of the ball. They still have some good playmakers on offense. So, and it's not like the NFC South is any like, you know, there's no juggernaut team in there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Tampa should be decent. We'll see what happens with them. New Orleans, you never know. And then Carolina. You know what I'm saying? So Atlanta is going for it. So props to them.
Yeah, and something tells me that the reason Judon, he was holding out. He's in the last year of his deal. Like, something tells me Atlanta's going to get a deal done with him. They probably already had it somewhat, you know, reached out to him and somewhat had something in place.
Yeah, I would hope they learned, right. I would hope they learned from the Jets and the Hassan Reddick ridiculousness to make sure that they, you know, say it had all that stuff, you know, all the I's dotted and T's crossed before they made that trade.
Yeah.
But that's the NFL. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like with the no guarantee, you know what I'm saying, contracts, like nobody wants to play on the final year of their deal because God forbid, like, you know what I'm saying? I know, you know, this is your favorite thing talking about preseason football. You know what I'm saying? But like watching the Dolphin game last night with my son John, shout out to my son Jonathan, you know what I'm saying? Like this guy's getting hurt every couple minutes. So I was just like, please take all the starters out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Guys is just dropping like flies. So, you know what I'm saying? In the NFL, you never know. So I understand these guys wanting to get some type of guarantee that they're going to be okay. So I'm pretty sure Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, is going to take care of Judon there. Again, I would hope they learn from what the Jets are dealing with right now, whatever. So, but again, I like what Atlanta's doing, putting together. I like Justin Simmons. I didn't think the Dolphins would get him because I think he'd be too expensive, but he was definitely one of the better safeties that were available. So they're putting together, you know what I'm saying, some players on defense. Again, that division is not a hard division to win.
Yeah.
So props to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still don't know what the hell they're doing at quarterback. Penix looked okay in the joint practice.
They're going to sit him, I think. They're sitting.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. You know what I'm saying? But who the hell knows how Cousins is going to look coming off a torn Achilles? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, again, and for all the people and, you know what I'm saying, Jeff fans as well, thinking that, you know, and Brett, we've talked about it. Aaron Rodgers, one of my favorite players to watch ever, one of the greatest quarterbacks I ever saw play. But he's 41 years old coming off an Achilles. So who knows, you know what I'm saying?
At least Rodgers was like at the beginning of last year. Cousins was
right.
Not, you know what I mean? Cousins was not middle of the year last year. So like,
Aaron Rodgers was 4 plays into the season.
Yeah.
Cousins was already into the season. So I mean, I know technology is, you know what I'm saying, better now, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not an Atlanta fan, so I don't know how their camp is going and how he's progressing, Kirk Cousins, that is. But Penix looked okay, you know what I'm saying, a little bit that I saw him against the Dolphins. And they still got Bijan in the backfield. They still got Kyle
They got
Pitts.
some
They still got
weapons,
weapons.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They got some stuff on offense to put up some points. So I like what they're doing by making some moves to shore up the defensive side of the ball. So, but to get Judon for a 3rd-round pick, like, and the Dolphins were trying, but New England was not going to trade him.
Yeah, they're probably
The
been a
Dolphins.
2nd round or 1st round for the
Yeah,
Dolphins.
I'm sure they were asking for a lot more from the Dolphins to get Matthew Judon, but like I said, I'm glad he's out. I'm glad he's out of the division.
Yeah, and I'm sure Atlanta will get that deal done.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, college football season starts next Saturday. I just wanted to take a look at the rankings. I was this is the first time really kind of looking at them. Your typical Georgia, Ohio State 2, Oregon 3, Texas 4. Remember, this is the first year for the 12-team playoffs. So you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at just the top 12 teams. You got Utah, Missouri. Like, what the fuck are they doing at 11? Like, Michigan at 9. Michigan's gonna, like, they've lost so many players. I don't know. Like, I get why they're 9 right now, but I don't foresee them being 9 at the end of the year. But any team just kind of surprise you. I mean, fucking my Iowa Hawkeyes, Johnny, we can't score a touchdown in fucking 2 years, and we're ranked number 25. So I know we got a new offensive coordinator, but Jesus, like, that's a lot of faith for a team that ain't scored a touchdown, I feel like, in 2 years. So
yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess the biggest surprise to see, as far as like, just, I guess, seeing Oregon at number 3 is only a surprise, only because you normally don't see them up there. You got the usual suspects, like you mentioned, Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama. You know what I'm saying? So to see an Oregon thrown in there, cool. But this is one of a pet peeve, I guess, this is the weekend dump where we just let all our shit out.
Yeah,
you know
let it all out.
Like a preseason poll, like get the fuck out of it. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you want to say
hate preseason polls more than I hate preseason football.
Yes, because we have no idea, especially now with the transfer portal and like, dude, these teams a lot of these teams are completely different now. Now, the powerhouse teams, again, yes, Georgia coming off of a couple champions, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But to rank the top 25, like, I don't fucking know if those are the 25 best teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I know is I'm a Miami Hurricane fan, and I hope that with the Cam Ward kid that they just got from Washington State, who looks good in camp, I just hope that they come out with a victory in 2 weeks at the Swamp against the Florida Gators. Sorry, wifey's a Gator fan, but I hope we beat the shit out of y'all in that week 1. There you go. Like, I didn't even know that shit. That's how much I care about the college top 25. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Preseason rankings is wild.
I understand it though, why they got to do it, right?
I mean, they have to do it just to have like a starting base or whatever. But at the same time, like, once you get past those top 5, like, come on, like, we guessing. You know what I'm saying? We guessing, and even with those top 5, you don't know what can happen.
You could jumble it up. A lot of people are high on Georgia, obviously, for you know what I mean.
And I mean, Texas. I mean, is the Manning kid starting yet?
No, it's Quinn Ewers one more time.
Okay,
and Ewers is good. Like, it's not like, you know.
Yeah, they were a top team last year. So again, like I said, I get it with the top 5, top 10, even maybe, but once you start getting to like 15, 20, 25, like, you're guessing that these teams are gonna be good.
Well, I think outside of even really Oregon, like, you know, they lost Bo Nix, so like,
right. That's what I'm saying. They lost their star quarterback. Michigan, like you mentioned, lost half their team, got drafted. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I mean, I understand.
Alabama lost their coach. You know what I mean?
Yes, like, we have no idea. Like, you would think that they're gonna just continue on because of the talent that they've acquired, but we don't know how many people transferred after Nick Saban left. Like, we have no idea. You know what I'm saying? So I understand why they have to do it, but like, once you get into like 5 or 6 games where you can have an idea of, you know what I'm saying, who's who, then I put more credence into those polls once the season starts than these preseason polls. Like, I understand that they got to do it, but like, what you're just making shit up. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of those things where, you know what I'm saying, it's these experts are basically just, you know what I'm saying, they're guessing. You know what I'm saying? But they have the platform or whatever to you know what I'm saying? So props to them.
I mean, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I was surprised to see Iowa there. I'm surprised to see Missouri is highly ranked that they're there. But hey, maybe they'll get in. It'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to see how the 12 team.
That I'm excited about. I'm excited about the 12-team playoff. Even though
I feel like 12 is too much. I've said 8 before, back when it was like 5 power conferences. Now it feels like there's just about 3. So it'll be.
We talked about it before. I'm with you on that. I think 8 would have been perfect. But I think the first top 2 may have buys or some shit. Like I don't even know how the whole system works yet, really.
Yeah, and then they said I thought I saw something the other day. They come out and said like if you win your conference title, that doesn't mean much. Like that's not a tiebreaker anymore.
See, like, and that's wild. You know what I'm saying? So like conference games don't matter now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, no, your conference. So if you win your conference championship game, how you're ranked. So if like let's just say Alabama doesn't win the SEC, they lose to Georgia in the SEC championship game.
Right.
And that's their own loss. And Georgia has, you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
But then, like, let's just say, like, I don't know, Ohio State has 2 losses and they win the Big Ten championship game. Like, they're still going to be, they said, like, that won't matter. That Big Ten, that Ohio State won their conference and Alabama didn't. So,
okay. As far as far as their final rankings, then I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Because just because you win a conference title doesn't mean that you're better than a team that didn't win the conference title. So I'm glad you explained that because
now once the playoffs
cool.
start,
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, especially like once you're ranking the playoffs, like
right. And I mean, it's probably going to be similar to the NCAA tournament or whatever, the college basketball one. Like you may have those couple of 11 and 12s that'll upset the 2 and the 3 or whatever, but for the most part, it's probably gonna be some ass whoopings. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But hey, at least there's opportunity for more teams. You know what I'm saying? Because when you just had it to 4, and it was a given pretty much that 2 of them were probably gonna be SEC teams.
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying. As much as me being a Cane, I'm not a Florida State fan at all. Like you can't go undefeated and win your conference and not even get. And I understand. They lost their quarterback, but they still won a couple games after that to go undefeated. So that was just kind of discouraging that they didn't even get an opportunity to go in there and get their asses whooped. You know what I'm saying? But
you got the opportunity to get your ass whooped.
Right. So you know what I'm saying? Now you can at least make the playoff, and you never know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be fun to see that first ever like number 8 or 9 actually make a run. Like that'll be cool to see, you know what I'm saying? And again, as a Miami Hurricane fan, like we need whatever freaking thing we can get to get into a playoff. So because we wasn't making that top 4, so hopefully with 12 teams, we can catch a spot in a damn playoff. Come on,
I do know. To kind of wrap up the college football stuff real quick, I do know. This was sent to me. Shout out to my guy Kenny. Or Craig, one of them said in our group chat, there are only 5 teams that did not accept any transfers. Army, Air Force, Navy, or maybe there's 4 teams, and then Clemson.
Right. Now this is like one of those Sesame Street.
He's going to have to come off his high horse, right? Like,
right. Now, it's like one of Sesame Street or whatever. Like, which one of these things does not belong? Right. It's not the same. Kind of the same.
One of these things is doing its own thing. You know?
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I guess if you're trying to have but dude, the rules are the rules. So, I mean, if it's probably because he don't feel that he can compete with this type of environment, and that's why a lot of the older coaches bounced.
Yeah.
You know saying? Not just in football, but in basketball as well. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't want to deal with this NIL shit. You know what I'm saying? But Clemson, like, come on, bro. Like, Dabo, bro. Like, props to you for getting your couple of championships. But, yeah, bro. Like, Army, Navy, I get, of course. Army, Navy, Air Force. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. Like, that's ridiculous for them to try to get, you know what I'm saying, guys that ain't even enlisted to transfer to their school.
Hey, why are you transferring here? Enlist in the military,
right?
You know what I mean? I'm cool. I'll just go transfer to fucking,
right? I'll just go to any other school, wherever, where I don't have to worry about. You're saying, grabbing a gun. But
and kudos to those guys that do. Obviously,
absolutely, no.
But
there's nothing but love for the armed forces and our military.
amen. But
To say
Clemson trying to be
here in
like
our show,
Clemson trying to be like them.
Yeah, stop it. Stop it. Yeah, that's one
Dabo's
of
got to
those.
come off the high horse. If they're going to
Yeah.
want to compete and get back to winning national championship games, they're going to have to say, "Hey, come on up. The door is open. The door is not. The door is open." It's going to have to be. Johnny, we did say we want to make this also a little variety show, so we'll end like the last 5 minutes just kind of talking about any TV shows, albums, and then we're going to do our top 5 summer jams. So you watch any like new shows or new music this past week that you want to talk about?
Not really no new music. You said I'm finishing up House of the Dragon. Yes, I know I'm a couple weeks behind, so sorry about that. And it's hard as hell to like avoid spoilers, bro, because people like I'm going tonight for any Aliens fans. I'm going tonight to go see Alien Romulus, and it's like you gotta avoid social media like the plague. It's like you can't even let the weekend pass. Like as soon as the movie came out on Thursday, like you had motherfuckers posting shit, and it's like, bro, like people work during the week, may not be able to go to it to the weekend. Can you give people a chance to go see the movie before you try to like spoil it and shit? But now I'm gonna go see Alien Romulus tonight what's
that one about? So what's Alien Romulus? Is that
Alien
like
Romulus? It's basically it's the sequel, the legit sequel to the first Alien. So it's in between Alien and Aliens. Aliens was the one in 1986 with the Marines that go down to the planet. So there's a 57-year gap where after the first one, Ripley is floating around with the cat in the sleep, in sleep mode for 57 years. So it's 20 years after the first one.
Okay.
So that's where they put this one in, and the director is like a horror dude. You know what I'm saying? He did The Last Evil Dead. He did Don't Breathe.
It's crazy because like the first Alien is like a horror type movie.
Yes.
We were talking about this with my cousin last weekend, actually.
Yeah.
Where the second one, Aliens, is a fucking more of an action movie.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like it's more of like fucking you're out there, they're trying to fucking murder all these.
Absolutely. And Aliens, the second one, the more action one that you mentioned, the one in 86.
Yeah.
That's like one of my top 5. Like I love that movie. I love the Aliens movie. That shit is one of my favorite movies ever. But yes, this Alien Romulus is 20 years after the first one. And like you mentioned, the first one was more of a horror. And that's what the director went with this one. Like, so this is one that's supposed to be like more horror, intense, just like edgy as sea type of scary type shit going on with these xenomorphs and the aliens. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm a big Alien fan. Alien 3 and after that got kind of like I was the studios trying to make money or whatever. But those first 2 Aliens, Alien and Aliens, like I said, were really good. So I'm glad that he picked this spot here because from what he said, he because there was like deleted scenes of Aliens where they showed like the people that first went on the planet to
the people that they tried to save or something like that.
The whole community that started there when they were terraforming the planet or whatever like that or whatever. So there was like deleted scenes. So he just always imagined, damn, what if those kids grew up there? So that's basically what it is.
Oh, so it's like what's that girl's name? Newt.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, basically. Okay. But before Ripley and the badass Marines were able to get there. So this is before that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's leading more towards the horror side than the action side. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I'll be tonight with my son. So it's gonna be fun. We're all excited about that. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, got to finish off House of the Dragon. But besides that, just chilling and looking forward to this top 5. Like I went in the bag to get some of these. You know what I'm saying? Like I went all over the place with this list of of top 5 summer jams. So I'm looking forward to that.
So me and the wife watched the new Twisters Friday night. I'm like it was a good movie. Now I'm a little disappointed they didn't like play like homage to the original. You know what I mean? Like there's no mention of like those like that crew. You know what I mean? Like they could have made there's a girl in there. She's like the main character. They could have made her like Helen Hunt's daughter, or you know what I mean?
So they didn't do any type of connection with the first Twister.
Nah.
Probably because that movie was ass.
Nah, man, that was a classic.
And I'm sorry, and I'm a big time Bill Paxton fan. Rest
That's
in
like
peace,
Bill
Bill
Paxton's
Paxton.
movie because
Rest
he's
in
not a
peace,
very
Bill
good actor.
Paxton. I
No.
love Bill Paxton. You're saying, and you mentioned Helen Hunt. Like I love I think it was because like some of the scenes from the trailer like weren't actually in the movie, so it was like I was like looking forward to like the scene with the cow flying through the air. Like
It's in the movie, Johnny.
just okay, but it's still just wasn't like I mean it was
That movie
like,
is not.
as far as
How dare you? How dare you? That movie
apologies to all the Twister fans out there. Not the game, the movie.
Yeah, it's a good. It's a cheesy movie. You know what I mean? Like it's a typical '90s cheesy classic.
But so they didn't do any type of connection
Nah.
with it at all.
Nah,
You would
no
think
connection.
that like then how are you gonna just what I'm saying like that's like if Aliens would have just done something completely different, not had Ripley nothing in it, and just you know what I'm saying like how are you just gonna tag up to this name and then not even like show any kind of homage or love or anything like that's kind of weird.
I think the only thing is in the first scene there's like the Dorothy is the machine, you know. They kind of have that. After that, that's it. But there's no mention of like anybody previous movies, no mention of like nothing. You could have had like we talked about this, me and my cousin actually talked about this, like you could have like 2 cows at one point in time, right? Floating up, you know what I mean? Just to kind of just something.
Or even mention of hey, there was this crew that tried to do this or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Something they could have showed old footage of them, you know what I'm saying? Just to like
could have had at least a cameo about Helen Hunt or something.
Right,
you know
something because then you immediately would have pulled those fans to your movie, but but no, I'm glad you told me about it. Like that's one of those that once it gets to HBO Max or whatever, I'll check it out on the at home on the Fire Stick or whatever.
But, well, I got it on the Fire Stick. Yeah.
Did you watch Deadpool and Wolverine? I mean, I know it's been out for a little bit, bro. That shit is wicked. Talk about and paying homage and stuff like that. Like they did.
I've heard good things. We were gonna watch it, and then my wife tried to tell me she had never watched the other two, knowing damn well we watched the other two. And I know I was like, you don't even gotta watch the first two to understand like this one. But superheroes movies not really like her cup of tea. So
my wife's the same. Like my son and like kind of not forced her to watch one of the first Deadpool, and ever since like she loves Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds or whatever, so she loves the Deadpool movie. So she's itching to go see it. So I'm definitely gonna watch it a second time. So I'm gonna go with her to go watch it. But you don't need to watch the first two to really. Yeah, I mean they kind of go over it in the beginning part, and then it's just a bunch of it's basically a buddy movie. You know what I'm saying with him? Yeah, him and Wolverine and shit. But it's a lot of fun, man.
I'm looking forward to sitting down and watching it. In the music world, I was prepared to kind of real quick before we get into this top 5 list. I was prepared to shit on the new Post Malone country album. It's not too bad. I know you're probably not a country music person. I listen to a little bit of everything, so I'm into country music right now. As I get older, I get, but it's pretty good. It reminds me of like a 90s country, just really upbeat, kind of, that happy, stuff, and just drinking, getting drunk. And there's a couple good songs on there. Album's a little long, but I was prepared to shit on it for sure. Cause I don't like the auto-tune stuff. And his voice always kind of sounds auto-tuning, but there were some couple good songs on there. The first few singles I had heard, wasn't a fan. But there's a couple other ones that I like on there. So I give it about a C or, C plus to, you know what I mean? Somewhere around there. So
that's not bad. I mean, I'll definitely have to check it out. I'm with you where I love all kinds of music. I'm Puerto Rican from New York. So you're saying I love salsa music. I love Spanish music. I love hip hop art, but I love everything you're saying. Like, I think country and jazz are probably like my 2 least that I really listen to. But having a wife that's born and raised down here in Florida, who's of the Caucasian descent, I should say. You're saying like she's. But so we've merged a lot of so I've listened to more country since I've been with her and stuff like that. But she's more the up tempo, like cooler shit than like the old school. But she knows all of the old school stuff, so like she's put me on to some of that and some of that. Like if you really listen to it, it's like it's not just my dog died and this is the worst. You know what I'm saying? Like they get deep with their shit, and like some of it is like there's some good shit. So I'm gonna
put you on you and both on her. It's called the Red Stray Clays. They are phenomenal.
Yeah.
The guy's voice is just up there with like Chris Stapleton type.
See, I was just about to say like Chris Stapleton, like he's one of my favorite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
this guy's voice is not quite as good as Stapleton, but it's good. It's real.
Yeah,
good.
I'm a beats person, and if you have a voice that, you know what I'm saying, whatever, like I'm gonna listen to it. So I listen to all kinds of everything, man. I got listen to everything. The metal, whatever, bro. If it sounds good, I'm gonna listen to it.
So let me ask you this before we get into our top 5 summer jams. What makes a good summer jam?
See, this was tough. Like I literally had to like pull up a list of summer. I just you know what I'm saying, because I was like curious about the same thing. Like as you mentioned right now, like is it something that you listen to at a barbecue? But again, like I was exposed to so much different shit. Like everything's open. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess obviously if you're talking about sun and summer or whatever in the song, I guess that's such a kind of a summary song or whatever.
Like, you don't even have to be about that to me.
Right. But I'm thinking of stuff that like I'm trying to like, you know, like you're going to see the variety of my shit. But like I try to think of stuff like honestly probably from when I was younger and like, you know, in the summer and like either at the pool or somebody, you know, grilling out somebody's house or at the park with the, you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. So that's where you're saying like my number 5, like I'm going to have to explain it because no, I am not going to sing it live on the air right here, but I'm going to have to explain the song a little bit and hopefully you know which one I'm talking about. But the rest of them, I mean, everybody should know them or whatever, but like these are just songs that I, you know, when like you said, when I think about summer, these pop into my head.
Yeah, I'm the same way. A summer jam is like something like I can have the windows down, and everybody's just got that good like upbeat vibe to it. Whether it's at the barbecue, the club, the bar, you know what I mean. It's mine's gonna be, but it's some shit where you got the windows down, and you can just yell at the top of your list. It's crazy. I think this year's summer's like jam to me has been the Kendrick Lamar. Not Like Us. I feel like everybody's playing shit. It's catchy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but
I mean, and that's where you're saying like I like the contrast that we had because I don't listen to a lot of the new shit because I'm a little bit older than you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Almost. You know what I'm saying? Almost. You know. Anyway, I'm older than you. But I'm fucking old, people. Sorry, but so you're saying a lot of the newer stuff. Like I mean, if somebody like points it out or whatever and tells me, hey, you need to check this out, I'll check it out. Like this stuff that my kids, you know, what I'm saying, recommend to me, or whatever, I'll check them out. And if it makes my head pop, you know, what I'm saying, or whatever, or you saying some shit that like sounds good, then I'll enjoy it or whatever. But for the most part, I don't listen to a lot of the new shit. But like again, I'm open to whatever. Same. I like I'm saying good music is good music. That's the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to get shit like I like metal. I like hard rock. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I used to get shit again growing up in New York. Like they'd be like, "Why are you listening to that shit?" You know what I'm saying? Bro, it's you know what I'm saying? It's not just screaming. You know what I'm saying?
What's your we'll go in. We'll jump into what's your number 5? What's your number 5?
Right, my number 5 is complete nostalgia based. And again, it reminds me of summer because when I went to the movies to see this is one of the first movies I ever saw as a kid. It was in the summer. It was The Karate Kid, and it was The Cruel Summer by Bananarama. You know what I'm saying? Where it's got that beat. I'm trying to not embarrass myself on, you know what I'm saying, live, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna play the song for you. I'm sorry, but it just reminds me of again summer. It reminds me of Elizabeth Shue from The Karate Kid.
Cruel Summer. We got it. I got it right here.
I was about to say you could probably play a few seconds of it. And again, that's more nostalgia based because it's from The Karate Kid. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the first movies I ever went to go see as a kid. So yeah, that one I put at number 5 because as soon as I thought of summer, like that was one of the first songs I thought about. And again, like I said, I see The Karate Kid and Elizabeth Shue whenever I hear that song.
Okay. My number 5, and this it's so hard because it's funny to be top 5, but today I was tied between two Sublime songs. Love is what I got, and also I don't practice Santeria, ain't got no crystal ball.
Nice.
Nice. So I was kind of tied between those two. It's number 5. They just got good like summertime. They're from California too, so like they got that summertime vibe to them.
Right.
But yeah, so those two, like, they was kind of my tie. It's like just one of those two Sublime songs. So.
Okay.
Because
that's good. And again, people out there, first of all, hit the subscribe button, smash that like, turn on notifications so you can check us out. We're gonna have all kinds of lists and shit every Sunday morning, so definitely check it out. But yeah, you're gonna see from my list, I went to my youth and shit that reminded me of summer when I was a kid, because honestly, when you get to a certain age, like, and you're working all year round, ain't no summer, it ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? It's just hotter. It's just hotter. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? But
and next week we're gonna do the top 5 things we miss about school, and summer break might be number 1. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes. Like that one might be like the MJ of it. Like, just leave that one alone, and then we'll do the top 5 besides summer break, because yeah. But yeah, so my number 4, and I'm looking forward to all these lists, man. Like, I had fun with them. But my number 4 is "It Was a Good Day" by Ice Cube. You know,
like shit, that's a vibe too.
Like, that's a vibe jam. Like, I debated about this one or "California Love" or whatever, which is another banger or whatever. You mentioned with your windows down and just jamming out or whatever like that. Now that's coming into my head or whatever, but this is just stuff I thought about, like, in the, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I was younger.
I got one at the top of the list at the same way, but it's just like, I'm not from California. I'm a white boy from Missouri. You know what I mean? From the Midwest, the core. Like, but like when I hear those songs, it's like, oh, I want to get in the car and fucking, you know.
Yes. And I'm telling you, wait until I get to my top 3. You're gonna tell, yes, this is a fucking kid from New York.
So my number 4 song is Alan Jackson, "Way Down Yonder on a Chattahoochee." You know what I mean? I wanted to throw a country song in there, and that's like the white people, one of the white people anthems.
I almost threw Red Solo Cup on my list.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front.
And I've drank a lot of beer and been at the river and to that song. A Chattahoochee by Alan Jackson is my number 4.
I'm telling you, bro, I had a lot of, like, there was, like, I had to chop this down. You know what I'm saying? But I had some Otis Redding. I had some old school, like, real old school shit. Like,
yes, you know
what I'm saying? Right. So, I mean, like, I almost went there.
Song too, though, like, right. That's a good, just like, you just chilling.
That's a good chilling song.
Yeah,
I guess, you know what I'm saying? Again.
I mean, Bob Marley, any Bob Marley, you know what I mean? Like,
like, I had to, again, like, I had to tighten this up to try to just think of summer. You know what I'm saying? So that's, but yeah, like that, that's a good one. All right, so my number 3, I'm gonna go ahead and just give it to the former Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and his boy DJ Jazzy Jeff, "Summertime." As much as people wanted to hate on him as an artist, like, this was like an instant classic. This was jammed all the time. And everything that he says in that song is facts, because you did want to go chill at the basketball court. You did want to make sure your fade was tight before you got out there. You did want to drop slow and, you know, saying, playing ball in front of the girls and all that stuff. So yeah, "Summertime" by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince is my number 3.
Yeah, so again, I mentioned I'm from Missouri. So number 3 is "Country Grammar" by Nelly. Hot shit, I'm going down, baby, low street like, I swear, everybody in the state of Missouri, like, I don't ever remember anybody buying that album. I just felt like helicopters dropped that album from the sky, and everybody in Missouri had that shit. And we all bumped that fucking song. I mean, that whole album, the "Country Grammar" album was phenomenal.
Yes, that was a great song. Good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, and that was like I was getting ready to be in high school, I think, or no, I was in junior high or something like that.
Right.
But either way, like when that song came out, it just fucking blew up. And being from Missouri, people like, oh shit, man, this guy, you know what I mean? Like from St. Louis, like that's our guy. And he was, Missouri and St. Louis to the core. So and that shit was just that song fucking is catchy as shit too. So that's my number 3.
Nah, that's a great jammer right there. Hot in Here is another good one that could have been on
Most
this
people
list.
would say Hot in Here. I got tired of Hot in Here because
they played that shit out, and
yeah.
I mean, the first time I heard Country Grammar, like I had to like listen to that shit a few times because I'm one too where I need to like know the lyrics. I need to
I still don't know the lyrics, and I've listened to it. Like,
but yeah, that was a badass one right there. So that's a good one. All right.
Your number 2.
My number 2 is "It Takes Two" by Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock, which I'm sure everybody knows.
Yeah,
you say knows this song, and this was right. And this was almost my number 1, and I put the one I put for number 1. Like that, everybody might not know it, might not have heard of it or whatever, but it was part of my youth. It Takes Two was definitely one of them. This one that people I'm sure still play. I know I do every once in a while. You were saying I listen to that because it's just a classic song.
Yeah.
But yeah, It Takes Two is one of those that I think about when I think about summertime.
Okay. My number 2 is going to surprise, but it's just so fucking catchy. Big Timer, Still Fly. Gator boots with the pimped out Gucci suit.
Nice.
Got everything in my mama's name. In my mama's name. You know? Like that shit, like that jam to
that
me
was great.
Is catchy, man. I used to see that shit all the fucking time. And then when you're a kid, you're like, everything is in my mama's name. Just fucking poor as shit. And you're like, you ain't even got nothing in your mama's name. You ain't even got nothing in your motherfucking name. But, it's our turn, Fresh.
Right.
So shout out to Manny Fresh and Birdman. But Big Time is Still Fly. I just like, that's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, that's a hella catchy song right there.
Yeah, that's a song where you're like, hey, in the summertime, you can play that any point in time in the summer.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm gonna be listening to some shit today. I ain't gonna front, man. Like, you know what I'm saying, I get in those. You know what I'm saying, like I do that at work too. You know what I'm saying, like if I'm not listening to a podcast, I'll just throw some music on and just let it play whatever, and just ride out my day at work, just listening to whatever. But that's a good one. I haven't heard that one in a while, so I'm gonna have to listen to that.
They're gonna sing it better than I sing it, but go ahead. What's your number 1?
All right. And my number 1, it kind of messes it up because the title is talking about springtime and we're talking about summer jams. But my number 1, I'm going with "Springtime Love" by CBB. Now, this in New York, we called it freestyle music.
Okay.
And you're saying like people would call it house music or whatever, stuff like that. But this or techno, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But this is an old school "Springtime Love" by Stevie B. And I know you may not think you heard it, but you've heard it. You've never heard it. Yeah, again, I'm not as confident in myself as you are to be singing up in this motherfucker. So I'm not even gonna do it to myself. But I'm gonna pull it up real quick so you can hear it if you want to go ahead and give your number 1.
Okay, I'll give my number 1. You mentioned like that West Coast, today was a good day, summer, but this to me, it don't get nothing better than this beat right here. And you just got the windows down.
Yeah.
Still Dre by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. To me, it's a summer jam. It's an all-time jam to me. But when that first day of like summer hits and you can,
I was about to say you may want to stop that soon before we get copyrighted for that. But that's what.
Down, it's just it's.
I am 100% with you, and I can't wait for more of these lists because I literally like took the whole summer thing into saying my shit. and I went with a lot of nostalgia and shit when I was a kid, just like you did. You know what I'm saying? But again,
Yeah.
I'm a little older than you, so my stuff is a little bit older. But yes, that Still Dre is that's one of the greatest beats ever put together ever.
Yeah.
Ever. That's that was my ringtone for a hot minute. I ain't even gonna front.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's definitely in my rotation. But this is
And you could have went with Ain't Nothing But a G thing too, like that. You know,
I almost did. Like that's why I just went with it was a good day by Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying, as far as like my smooth, just chilling type.
And that's a song. It was a good day. Like I like to put that on the song when you really like chilling at the end of the barbecue.
Yes.
Everybody's kind of faded and just
that's all I was thinking about. Like the Still Dre, I listen to that shit any fucking time, anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit pops on my shit, and like I'm with you. I'm rolling the windows down. I'm jamming that shit. I don't give a fuck how old it is. But yeah, this is Spring Love by Stevie B. Do you remember that at all?
The beat sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get us copyrighted here, but
shit, it'll be all right. We're not big enough yet to fucking.
I'm gonna fast forward. A little bit so you can hear him sing a little bit. I'm pretty sure people have heard this, but
yeah.
Anyway, it's Spring Love by Stevie B.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It was so again from up in New York when I was a kid. It was freestyle music, but you know, say people started calling it like house music and techno and stuff like that. But yeah, that was one of those, you know, say, especially again, like I think of 12, 13 years old in the summer, you know, saying chasing the girls around if I wasn't playing ball and shit, and this playing in the background and shit like that. So when I think of summer, that's what I think about.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I like it. Before we get out of here, Johnny, you got anything else you want to dump out before we start in this week and start a new week?
No, just again excited for you know what I'm saying for the weekend dump every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for you people. So again, we're gonna have fun lists, we're gonna have guests, we're gonna have all kinds of shit. We're gonna have fun. If you got grievances or shit you want to get off your chest, jump up in the comments, say whatever you gotta say. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a fun, interactive show. So definitely, give us a subscribe and check it out. Nick, everything Nick touches is fucking gold. So definitely check it out. It's fun.
I don't know about that, but
my man puts in his work, man. So definitely, I'm enjoying this. Looking forward to this. You can follow me on all social media platforms, even though I'm not on there as much as I should be because life and work just make it hard. But you can follow me at the Yankee Fan. Every Monday night, gotta give a shout out to the guys from Kendall Sports Network. We got the Dolphin Chronicles we do every Monday, 7:30 Eastern Time with my boy Byron Garcia and Alex. So definitely check us out for any Dolphin talk on Monday nights. And of course the LTS show Monday nights at 9 and Thursday night at 9. So definitely check it out. Looking forward to this, man. I'm glad you brought this one back because this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, me too, my man. It's been a pleasure. I got a shout out to my beautiful wife. Today's her birthday.
Happy birthday, mama.
Yeah.
Mama Bodkins.
Yeah, she is the lady who holds it all down.
Yeah.
So she is, it's her birthday. So I got to shout her out. Love her to death, obviously. She got to put up with a lot. When you got to put up with me, that's already one thing. And then you got to put up with
and then you got the bunch. My man is the Brady Bunch.
So we even got one more than the motherfucking Brady Bunch.
Right. Well, Alice, he turned Alice into a kid.
So it is what it is.
Shout out. Happy birthday, man.
She's the one that really just encourages me to do this. Like I probably said this before.
No, that's
She's
awesome. That's awesome.
That tells me hey, chase it, do this. Like I'm proud of you for staying with it, for having fun, and being part of something. So she's the one that really is the person behind the scenes. And on my worst days, she still sees the best of me. So. Awesome. Shout out to my lovely wife and her birthday today. So gonna spend the rest of the day with her. Got to get the back to school haircuts today. Other than that, that's about it. 8 o'clock. We'll be back on the LTS show 8 o'clock Central tomorrow, and we'll be back next Sunday for another weekend dump. So dump all your grievances, dump everything out. Can't wait. Next week.
What's our top 5? Yeah.
Yeah. Things we miss about school.
Yes.
Top 5 things we miss about school. With school coming back, these kids don't know. They're dreading coming back to school. But I can't. You ask every damn
Yes.
adult, you're like, shit, I'll go back to school. Like that shit.
You ain't lying. Don't try to
school,
grow up too fast, man. Enjoy being a kid because you got a lot more life out of school than you do in school.
Yeah.
And it's reality is coming.
So I think our list will be non-sports related. We'll try to make it more non-sports related at the back end of the show. We'll talk about TV shows that we're watching and things like that, just to make it a variety of things. But next week, the top 5 things that we miss about school. So, because school's back. I mean, school will be back. So, all right. Other than that, folks, be a friend, tell a friend, like, subscribe, share. I'm going to hit that outro for my guy, Johnny Cruz. I'm Bodkins. This has been another great episode of the Bodkins Show. We'll see you next week.
Nice, bro. That was fun.
Yeah, no doubt.
Dude, did you put all this shit together yourself?
What do you mean? No, Tanner did all that for me.
Did he? Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
That shit is good, man.
Put the intro and the layout and shit for me.
Nice. This shit looks good. Nah, man, this was fun, man. Like I said, I took the summertime thing a little more literal, but like everything that you